Well, Israel has reportedly bombed targets inside of Syria for a second straight day. Now, media reports suggest that Israel targeted Syria's Quneitra province. The attack reportedly comes after projectiles errantly landed in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Syrian sources say the attack struck an army chief. Israel has defended its airstrikes on Syrian territory a day earlier. Damascus says the raid has resulted in a number of civilian casualties.
We continue with our clear policy. We will retaliate to any attack against Israeli sovereignty, regardless of whether it was deliberate or not.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also defended the airstrikes on what he called military targets. He said they were in response to projectiles landing in Israel. Tel Aviv's military says the strikes destroyed 2 tanks after more than 10 projectiles landed in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Excuse me. However, Damascus says the Israeli strikes hit a residential building, causing a number of civilian casualties. Let's cross over to Ohio, joined by senior editor of Veterans Today, Gordon Duff. Thank you so much for being with us. Your take on this, what exactly is going on? Why have we seen now 2 days in a row Israel bombing Syria?
You can look at this superficially. The Israelis are playing for their own domestic policies. Their country's in disarray. Their economy's increasingly in disarray. Their relationship, this is something that few analysts are looking at. Their relationship with Turkey, which was a vital cornerstone of that triumvirate they had with Saudi Arabia, where they were initiating so much mischief since 2011, 2012, and getting away with it. That's melting. The relationship with Saudi Arabia is exposed. This is all exposed. But what they're also taking advantage of, we have a constitutional crisis in the U.S. We have a full meltdown here. The U.S. and Russia are increasingly close to thermonuclear war, worse than any time, even the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it's not being spoken of. And Israel thinks somehow that they have a free hand because the rest of the world is lining up right now, just like in August 1914, lining up for World War. And they can play this out however they will. They're playing in the U.S., they're playing in Russia. A key aspect of this, this attack is the failure of Russia to respond. You know, Russia is really responsible for the air defenses of Syria. Putin long ago took over the relationship between Syria and Israel. He met with Netanyahu several times. They discussed these attacks. Putin demanded these attacks come to an end. The Israelis are openly flaunting Russia's authority, Russia's military capability.
Well, do you think that perhaps the Israelis actually want an escalation, that they would want then the Russians to get involved and then directly making the United States with whatever reason, then say that they then have to get even more involved, that could totally escalate the situation and actually take it closer then to that world war that you just mentioned?
Oh, they absolutely, you're absolutely correct. You couldn't be more correct. This is the game, and it's a very, very high risk game. Israel thinks they're going to come out last man standing. They think of themselves, and quite wrongly so, as a world power. You know, they're the ones behind the manipulation of the Saudi Arabians against Qatar. They're working closely with the Gulf states, have for years. And their real fear is this alliance now with Turkey closer to Iran, with Turkey and Russia closer to Iran, with Turkey and now Pakistan standing with Qatar, Pakistan reassessing its alignment with Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan is the real nuclear muscle in the Islamic world. Things are lining up against Israel, and they're playing high-risk poker with what could be a war that would kill all of us.
Okay, well, on that note, thank you so much for being with us out of Ohio. Senior Editor of Veterans Today, Mr. Gordon Duff.